All right, Lions fans and One Pride Nation, coming at you with another quick one. Something that actually crossed my mind from an article I read maybe about a day and a half ago. It was actually on ESPN. They were talking about it was like 10 or 14 free agents who are still out there and some good fits for those free agents. And the guy who stood out was defensive end Jadeveon Clowney. And the team that they thought that he would most fit best with would be our Detroit Lions. Now, Jadeveon Clowney is now 33 years old, and I'm just looking at his stats from last season. In 13 games with the Dallas Cowboys in 2025, the edge rusher recorded 41 total tackles, 24 of those were solo, 8.5 sacks, one forced fumble, and four pass deflections. He also generated 40 total pressures and earned a 79.2 overall defensive grade from PFF. And it shows the same thing on here in detail 2025 stats. Now, another thing that I don't see on here, but I did read a couple days ago, is that out of those 8.5 sacks and all of those pressures, he did it on some. It was either 327 or 337 snaps, meaning that he's not even playing a lot of snaps. And one of the issues, not one of the issues, but one of the reasons why they are linking him to the Lions is because of his production, and that you can probably get him on a relative cheap. But then again, the Lions don't have that much cap space left, so they say that that could be the problem, that there are some teams that can maybe pay him 500,000, 750,000, maybe even $1 million more to bring him in, maybe like the 49ers. I heard the Seahawks, and I'm trying to think of another team, but those teams stand out of teams who could be going after Jadeveon Clowney for his services. Now, for the Lions, I think it would make sense if you can get him for the right price. What you get with him is you get a veteran who can come in and help the younger defensive ends. You get someone that does not need a lot of snaps for production. Listen, to me, 8.5 snaps for a rotational piece is a pretty darn good season. It's very similar to man, I'm sorry, his name literally just slipped my mind. The defensive end that we just lost to the Buccaneers. It'll come back to my mind. I'm sorry. I'm literally having a brain freeze. It reminds me of the season he just had at 30 years old. If Jadeveon Clowney can come in for the Lions and do a similar thing, let's just say he doesn't do 337 snaps, but he gives you 290 to 308. And out of those, he can get you 6.5 sacks. He can get you, 17, 18 to 20 pressures, a couple of pass deflections, defend the run, set the edge very well. I think that is worth it for the Lions, because he wouldn't be coming in as a starter. He would be coming in as a guy who would give Aidan Hutchinson and Derek Moore a rest. He wouldn't really even take snaps away from DJ Wanham and maybe even Peyton Turner. What he would be is a depth piece. He would be a piece that can push those guys, push them to have better production. And as I always say, you can never have enough pass rushers. So I think that this would be an excellent pickup by the Lions if you can get him for the right price. Because remember, the Lions do still have to extend Gibbs, Laporta, and Branch. And I know they're gonna have to use some of that cap money for that. Now, I know when you talk about extensions, you're really talking about probably 27 and 28 money, but I'm sure some of that 26 money would play into that. But that intrigued me because I've always been a Jadeveon Clowney guy. I actually want the Lions to bring him in 2023. It just didn't work out that way. But at 33, he's still on the market. He's been, relatively healthy the last few years, and he could be a good veteran and a depth and rotational piece. So, Lions fans, what do you think? Are you interested in bringing in Jadeveon Clowney, or are you satisfied with what the Lions have done on the defensive line, particularly at the edge rusher spot, with what they did in the draft and free agency? Or do you think, like me, that if you can get him for the right price, that he could be totally productive, he could be a total asset to the Lions as a rotational piece, and help the defense and push those younger players along and be a mentor to those younger players? All right, that's pretty much my thoughts on Mr. Clowney. What do you think? If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so we can keep talking Lions football. Hit the like for the algorithm so the video gets out there and more people can see, what we got going over here, us One Pride Nation, what our team is cooking up, and the noise that they could make in 2026. That's all I got for this one. Until next time, Peace.